Hi, Jennifer Allwood here. I'm super excited to talk to you today about Instagram hashtags. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you perhaps already know that I teach people how to use the internet to build their business without sacrificing their faith for their family in the process, because growing a business that works for both your family and your bank account is of utmost importance to me. So today we're talking about hashtags and how to use them on Instagram and how to use them intentionally. This is a recent post that we did with some hot pink stools, okay? And so we've got lots of hashtags in the first comment. Now, people ask me all the time, do I need to put the hashtags in the post or do I need to put them in the first comment? I prefer first comment simply because it makes the post look cleaner. And also, a lot of times I have a lot of words. And so we're going to talk about hashtags. Let me give you just the tiny 30-second backstory. Instagram's harder to grow. It's harder to grow than Facebook. I think it's harder to grow than Pinterest. By the way, Pinterest is not a social media. It is a search engine. But Instagram is just harder to grow. Sometimes it just feels like a slog. It feels like a slow crawl getting new followers. The thing with Instagram followers is that they're, I think, a lot of times more likely to buy. I think they're a lot of times more it may be harder to get them, but they're more invested in the things that you're posting in. So with that being said, it is really worth the effort to grow your Instagram following. And I teach all sorts of ways to do that. I teach, using your Instagram stories. I've had a training recently on Reels. By the way, I still give a big fat thumbs down to Instagram Reels. Go watch that if you haven't yet. But hashtags are a good way to try to grow organically on Instagram. Using the right hashtags on your posts can be super helpful. Okay, so let's talk about that. All right, so if you're trying to grow a business, or maybe you just want to get like Instagram famous, I don't know, hashtags are one way of doing that so that people can find you. So we have recently, I say we like I'm French, I have recently started a new Instagram account. If you've got your phone right now, well, you're probably watching me on your phone, but you can go look up, my name is Jennifer Allwood. I have a new account called Jennifer Allwood Home, okay? So I'm going to go to my own account here. This is like it is a specific account for a specific reason. It's just the decorating and DIY that I do. It's remodeling of our home. My husband and I are looking at rental properties. We're also looking at a vacation home. So there will be plenty of content coming up there. And if we're going to be flipping houses, I want to have a place to kind of show that off. So if you go to Jennifer Allwood Home, you can find it, first of all. Okay. So when you find that, you can look at one of our recent posts, like this one, perhaps. This is a recent post that we did with some hot pink stools. Okay. And so we've got lots of hashtags in the first comment. Now, people ask me all the time, do I need to put the hashtags in the post or do I need to put them in the first comment? I prefer first comment simply because it makes the post look cleaner. And also, a lot of times I have a lot of words. And so I'll have a long post. And then if you've got a whole bunch of hashtags, then sometimes you have to almost shorten your post. And so here's some of the hashtags we used on that post. Hashtag glam style home, hashtag glam, hashtag bright and bold home, hashtag bright and bold, hashtag pink home decor, hashtag interior design, interior decorating, chick farmhouse, farmhouse kitchen. Like what we've done to try to figure out what hashtags to use is a couple of things. So essentially, we've been peeking at other people's Instagram. Number one, this is a good way to figure out which hashtags to use. So for like me, I'm going to think of somebody else that's kind of in my arena. So my friend Jennifer owns a Facebook and an Instagram, a business called Dimples and Tangles. So if you go to Dimples and Tangles, which is owned by Jennifer Griffin, she's fabulous. And you can look at like her last post that she did. It's got a beautiful blue door. She's already starting to put pumpkins in pictures, which, hello, peeps, it's August, but okay, we're going to just go with that. It's at least the end of August. But look at all of her hashtags if you were to go to her account. So she's got BHG color, that's Better Homes and Garden, decorating on a budget, painted pumpkins, IG homes. Like I look at other people who are in a similar arena to mine. She's got classic decor, color me fab, bold color, decorating ideas. She's got some really great hashtags in there that even we haven't used yet. So what I want you to do is start kind of sneaking a peek at some of the posts from other people who are in your arena to try to figure out some good hashtags. Now listen, let's say I click on one of these. Let's say I click on decorating on a budget. If I click on the hashtag decorating on a budget, I will see that there are 73.7 thousand posts on decorating on a budget. Now, sometimes that makes your posts actually harder to find. Like, I prefer to try to grab hashtags that don't have millions and hundreds of thousands of posts with them so that you have a more likelihood of being found. So let's look at this one. OKC Blogger. I'm guessing that's Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City Blogger has less than 55,000 posts. So that one's probably a little bit better one. This one is, she's using the hashtag, I don't know even how to say it. It's like CHINOISERIE, chic. It's a particular type of thing that she used in decorating, and nope, it's got 96,000. Okay, I was thinking that one would have less. Front door decor, 77,000. So what I see here is that she's using mostly hashtags that are under the 100,000 posts, and that's smart, okay? Because when you start using posts like DIY, in fact, let me just do a search for that, because you can search any hashtag by going to the magnifying glass, and you're going to just look up hashtag DIY. I'm going to tell you how many posts are on the hashtag DIY. Ready? Then you do a search. 58 million. 58 million. So my advice to you is that you would not use a hashtag like DIY, because how are you going to get found when there's 58 million posts? Okay. So think of tightening up the hashtags that you could use that are applicable, that get a lot of posts under them, but not so many that you get lost. Look for other people who are in your industry, and that will be super helpful. Now, on my other Instagram, which is just Jennifer Allwood, it's not Jennifer Allwood Home, so we're going to go back to that. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on things we do, okay? So I've got 95,000 followers on my Instagram over here. One of the things that I do is I know who my ideal client is for that account. It's a woman that has a creative business. So you want to know what I do? I follow the hashtag creative business. Hang on, I'm going to pull it up. This is what happens. I will get rid of this allergy cough eventually. Okay, so creative business. It, yes, has a lot of, and there's also creative business owner, but when I follow, so I'm already following the creative business hashtag, which means that when I'm just scrolling through Instagram, it will show me posts for hashtag creative business. That means when I see those posts, I'll read them. And if I'm like, ooh, this person is a painter, a creative, a mom, a wife, a believer, any of the thing that would make my ideal client. Like, not all of those are, rarely do I get all of those things, but my ideal person would be maybe a woman over her 40s with kids, who's working at home, who's married, who loves a lot of different things, but is doing a business on one thing. Like, those are some of the ideal clients. So if I read a post and I'm like, oh, this girl, she only has, 1,000 Instagram followers. She could really use some of my coaching to really build that. I will comment on those posts. So following a particular hashtag is really valuable so that you see those posts come across your feed. Okay. So that's one thing. Another thing, I follow my hashtag of my name, Jennifer Allwood. And I'm going to tell you why. We also follow Fear is Not the Boss of You, which is my #1 best-selling book on Amazon, Fear is Not the Boss of You. Thank you for those of you who have recently ordered it and pushed it to #1 again just this month, in the month of August. So if I go to hashtag Jennifer Allwood, I follow that hashtag because sometimes, I see this, the last thing I was tagged in was Podcast Magazine. And it says Jennifer Allwood, Slaying Dragons and Building an Empire. By the way, that's not me. That's Jenna Kutcher, who's Insta famous. But I'm in that magazine with her. So anybody that has mentioned hashtag Jennifer Allwood, I make sure that I go and I comment on that, only because it's common courtesy, especially as a business owner. Sometimes, commenting, people just want to be seen, especially right now when we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's so much social distancing. There's also a lot of emotional distancing that comes with the social distancing. And so people just want to be seen. Oh, Lord have mercy. That is a podcast episode. People want to be seen. How do you see them? You comment on their stuff. There's social distance. also equals emotional distance. I'm gonna talk about that on the Jennifer Allwood show soon. So that is a trick that we do. I follow hashtags to see if I can engage with and comment on and follow people who would be great clientele for me, people that I know might be needing to grow their social media and they're trying to build their business in the online space. Because the thing is, people can't buy from you if they never know about you. Does that make sense? So like, let's say you are perhaps, you sell jewelry. I would follow hashtag, I mean, look up some of these hashtags. Instagram influencer, hashtag social media influencer, hashtag over 40 style influencer, hashtag, let's see, what else? You know what I'm going with here. Fashion blogger for over 40. Like, look, think of some of those hashtags that you could follow and then engage with some of those accounts that are posting things that have to do, with something that would involve your jewelry. That is a great, great idea. Experiments with the hashtags, by the way, because I believe on Instagram, unless this was changed, but I think you can have up to 30. As I said, we like to put them in the first comment. But one of the ways that we keep those is because every time we do a post, I don't want to sit there and type out hashtag glam decor, hashtag bright and bold decor, hashtag I hate farmhouse, hashtag, like I don't want to do that because that takes too much time. So most of my Instagram posts, we schedule in a third-party software called Later. And so you can actually use your hashtags, you can store them there. Or before we used Later, I literally had in the notes on my phone, you guys. If I'm doing a business post, I can copy and paste all these hashtags and just copy it right into the comments. If I'm doing a home post, here's the hashtags that I use for that because they're different, right? And so I would put those in my notes also. That way you're not sitting and typing them out one by one and trying to remember what your hashtags are. Anyway, so I hope that is helpful. Instagram categorizes your page with the things that you follow, with the hashtags that you're following. So for example, if you're selling wreaths, but you actually follow like a whole bunch of dog hashtags, it's going to be confusing to Instagram and it's going to push yourself kind of out of their algorithm for the wreath selling. So I hope that makes sense. Hashtags are easy. They're easy breezy to make sure you add. In full disclosure, sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh yeah, hashtags. You can always go back to an old post and you can put a comment in, even if it wasn't the first one, it's fine, and do all the hashtags. It'll immediately be seen as the first comment anyway. So hopefully that is helpful for you. And hopefully you subscribed while you're here because I love having you. Make sure you share this with other people who perhaps are like new to hashtags, are not sure what to do with it. All of the things. Bless you guys. There are going to be some notes down in the show notes below, which are going to lead to more trainings from me. We'll see you soon.